Ritorno al sicuro.
Salgono nuovamente gli incidenti sul lavoro e le denunce per malattie professionali.
La formazione è importante.
Emerge che nel comparto dove si è registrato il maggior aumento di infortuni mortali in questi mesi
Oltre 260.000.
la morte sul
Solo
lavoro.
dopo i colleghi sono intervenuti richiamati dal
Crescono invece le denunce per
In
malattie
aumento di
professionali.
quasi il 42% le patologie di origine
La
professionale
formazione è
denunciate.
importante.
Il mondo della salute e sicurezza nei luoghi di lavoro è un mondo difficile, complesso, pieno di norme da sapere, in continua e rapida evoluzione. Un settore in cui non ci si può improvvisare esperti, perché anche i più veterani del settore non hanno mai raggiunto la piena conoscenza. Orientiamoci assieme. Professionisti, operatori e attori della prevenzione nei luoghi di lavoro. Siamo noi. Siamo operatori dell'azienda sanitaria Friuli Occidentale e questo è Ritorno al sicuro. Salute e sicurezza sul lavoro, appunti a portata di mano. Io sono Ambra Alessi, tecnico della prevenzione, in servizio presso la piattaforma tecnica del Dipartimento di Prevenzione. Mi occupo da ormai 15 anni di salute e sicurezza in ambiente di lavoro, in tutti i comparti produttivi.
Io sono Daniele Vacca, sono un medico del lavoro, già medico competente di aziende in diversi settori, attualmente medico del lavoro presso la struttura complessa di prevenzione e sicurezza degli ambienti di lavoro del Dipartimento di Prevenzione dell'azienda sanitaria Friuli Occidentale ASFO. Ben trovati!
Welcome to this episode of Ritorno al Sicuro, the English version of the agricultural injuries episode. This English edition was made possible through the collaboration of Professor Paola Del Ben, English teacher and member of the Italian Red Cross, who translated the contents of the episode.
Hi, and welcome to this episode of Ritorno al Sicuro. We are pleased to present the English language version of our episode, Agriculture and First Aid. As producers, we are working to ensure this information reaches a wider audience, far beyond our usual horizons. There are two main reasons for this episode. First, an increasing number of workers in agriculture come from outside our country. Second, having access to proper first aid is absolutely crucial for preventing the most serious consequences of traumatic events. At the beginning of our conversation, we discussed some examples of common accidents in the field. Could you tell us about them?
Oh, yes. The most frequent events for agricultural workers usually involve burns from hot machinery. We also see many insect stings, chemical poisoning, and severe bleeding. Accidents caused by plants are also common, like injuries from falling trees or contact with poisonous grass. Because of these risks, it is very important and required by law that every work team has a designated first aid responder. This person must be able to recognize a medical emergency, be familiar with first aid techniques like airway clearance, know how to use supplies to control massive bleeding, and handle all communications with the emergency services. In the original episode, we were also joined by a special guest, Luca Verardo. He is a member of the Mountain Rescue Service, the Soccorso Alpino, and a helicopter rescue technician here in our region, Friuli Venezia Giulia. What expertise and experiences did he share with us? Luca explained his role as a helicopter mountain rescue technician. His primary responsibility is managing the safety of the rescue scene. He assesses the conditions to ensure the medical crew can intervene safely, and he guides them through the process of helping the injured person. Luca shared a couple of real incidents from his rescue records in agriculture. One involved wasps, hornets, and bumblebees. He recalled a situation where workers cut down a tree, which agitated a hidden nest. The insects swarmed out from the ground, causing a severe anaphylactic shock to a woman working nearby. That was an incredibly difficult intervention. Another tough rescue happened deep in the forest. A team of lumberjacks was cutting down trees when a massive trunk fell off a truck and trapped a person. This happened in a remote forest at 1,500 meters up in the mountains, right near a lake. It was impossible to land the helicopter safely, so the rescue crew ultimately had to reach the site from the ground, using a jeep from the nearest village.
That sounds incredibly challenging. He also mentioned how difficult it can be just to find someone in those environments, right?
Exactly. Another interesting operation involved a rescue in the wild, where the injured person could not be immediately located. It is absolutely vital to have a precise location and to maintain active communication with the caller, especially when working in an open field or a forest. If you are in a city or a town, you have a street address. But in a wild, large area with no reference points, just trees and fields, locating someone is nearly impossible without the right tools. So, it is crucial to know the exact area where the work will be done, maintain communication with the outside world, and keep a first aid kit in the immediate vicinity. Callers are the eyes of the emergency call center, so personal knowledge of what to do in that immediate moment is everything. Fortunately, most people working in the mountains and fields are well prepared for this.
After Luca Verardo, we spoke with Dr. Carlo Facchin, a mountain rescue doctor and sports medicine specialist. What did Dr. Facchin share with us?
Dr. Carlo Facchin explained that there are 3 key aspects to safety: cultural, operational, and technical. Culturally, it is all about being mentally prepared and capable of anticipating scenarios that could lead to accidents. He calls it a culture of risk awareness. There are extreme situations, like cardiac arrest, where a single person on their own can do very little. But there are many other scenarios where self-management and self-rescue can literally save a life. For example, with massive bleeding, if 30 to 40% of the blood leaves the body, your life is in immediate danger. By learning basic bleeding control techniques, you can keep yourself or a coworker alive until professional help arrives.
What about less severe emergencies, like choking or airway obstruction?
Dr. Facchin addressed that as well. If you are eating out in the field or woods and a piece of food gets stuck, it is usually not a big deal for a healthy adult. A partial obstruction typically resolves spontaneously because you cough, and the best advice is simply to keep coughing. However, it becomes a serious potential problem with elderly workers or children as their muscles are weaker. In those cases, a second person must be present who knows how to perform specific first aid clearance maneuvers to clear the airway.
Communication came up multiple times as a major challenge. How do we address a complete lack of signal in remote areas?
A lack of communication is a massive risk in itself. It is absolutely essential that teams pre-establish a communication system before heading out. You cannot assume cell phones will work up in the mountains or deep in the forests. Workers should equip themselves with radio transmitters if possible. At the very least, you should map out the area beforehand to know exactly where the nearest cell phone signal coverage is. Sometimes moving just a few meters can make the difference between 0 bars and a successful emergency call. Dr. Facchin also emphasized being careful with lone workers. Someone should always check on them periodically with a phone call. For anyone working completely alone, using a man-down system, a device that automatically sends an alert if a worker falls and stops moving, is an excellent preventive measure.
To wrap things up, you mentioned 2 local mobile applications that are highly recommended for our region. Friuli Venezia Giulia. Can you remind us what they are?
Yes, absolutely. Everyone should download them. I have them on my own phone. The first one is called Where Are You? And the second one is DAEFVG, Defibrillatori Friuli Venezia Giulia. Both apps interact directly with SOARS, our regional emergency system. The Where Are You app connects directly with the 112 Emergency Dispatch Center. The incredible advantage of this app is that when you make a call, it automatically shares your exact GPS coordinates with the operators. In the open countryside or forests, this geolocation data helps ground and helicopter crews reach the accident site as fast as possible. Meanwhile, the DAEFVG app maps out every public defibrillator in the region and acts as an emergency alert system to help you find the nearest device in seconds.
We have another topic to speak about. The question about clothing was brought up with the expert. Not just the clothes usually worn, but something that could be used to cover an injured person. What key points should we take home about clothing?
First of all, We know that clothing must always adhere to safety principles. This is why you must wear proper shoes, proper trousers, and proper jackets in the workplace, according to your specific task. But this is not enough, because weather conditions must always be kept in mind. You must always be prepared and know what the weather is going to be like. In the event of an accident where the victim is immobilized, bleeding, or waiting for help, it is vital to have the necessary garments to prevent hypothermia, which can be a very dangerous situation. So, it is very important to protect the injured person from the cold, but also from extreme heat. There are emergency items that cost very little, less than €1, like the emergency rescue thermo blanket. In Italian, we call it metallina, or coperta isotermica. They are very easy to find, and it is highly recommended to include them in your first aid kit. Even though the standard kit has minimum legal requirements, that does not mean you cannot add useful instruments to it, like this thermal blanket to prevent hypothermia and heat exhaustion.
We are now coming to the close of the episode. What were the closing remarks on agricultural first aid?
I really liked the final words of our expert. In conclusion, the experts emphasized 3 fundamental points, but the first and most important one is definitely preparation. This connects directly to what Dr. Facchin was saying about culture. You always have to be prepared. We have a saying in this region, guai o male, which means, God forbid whatever could happen, be prepared anyway, especially when you head out into the field. Your physical fitness is another crucial part of preparation, maintaining a healthy lifestyle. The second key point is having the right equipment, the right clothes, and keeping your safety items ready to protect yourself from potential accidents and changing weather conditions. Last but not least, be mentally prepared for any event that could happen. Something that hasn't happened yet but could. Of course, Dr. Facchin also joked that you should hope for a little bit of good luck in the end.
So, with those final words, we close this episode of Agricultural First Aid. Thank you.
Ritorno al sicuro.
Ritorno al sicuro, un progetto ideato dalla dottoressa Claudia Luisa D'Alessandro. Il programma è condotto da Ambra Lessi e Daniele Vacca. Elevazione Claudia Luisa D'Alessandro, Ambra Lessi e Daniele Vacca. Mixaggio e post-produzione Daniele Vacca.
Ritorno al sicuro.